I enjoy stunt yarn crafting. I want to make a granny square where the stitches of the granny square form a heart. And this is the first round, the second round, and it's on the third round that there are several color changes. Now there are several methods to change color. Most people who didn't want to cut the yarn would just carry the other yarn behind. I don't want to be cutting the yarn here and here and here and here and here and here. I want to work around, and when I get to here, I'm going to use foundation double crochet to do this one, and then I'll go back to round 2. There's another version of the heart. It's the same heart in the center, but then there's another layer that has 3 of each of these around the outside. I tried this and worked out some of the details. I tried this and failed. So I'm going to try to figure out where to put the chain up. Okay, if I want to go around and then do foundation single crochet here, and then when I come back, I want to chain up here and do these 2. Sorry. I want to complete this one, and then to close the round, I want to leave the yarn here, so I'm going to do a double crochet instead of chaining, and that will leave the yarn here, and that'll make it easier to chain up. So I want to end here, which means I want to start chaining up here. Okay, so I'm going to do this, and this is the same one, so it doesn't matter. This one's also the same one, except you can start in the middle corner, or you can start after corner, or middle of the side, and I need to start in the middle corner. Does that make sense? I thought I had to start here. I start here. Oh, I know. I was doing these 2. Ha! This one and this one should also be pink, or whatever my heart color is. That's the heart. I made the diagram wrong. Oh well, mistakes. They are part of getting things done. With this being the first one, the chain up needs to be here, which means this is the one I need to end here, which means I need to start here. When I finish the first round, I'm going to chain up and then do a corner right away, and that will get me to where I need to go. And then when I get here, so here I want to chain up and then do a foundation double crochet, and then I'll chain down like a flower petal. If you've ever done flowers, you chain up, you do your long stitches, and then you chain back down to get to the center. So I'm going to do that there. This is yarn from the dollar store. The red feels thicker than the white, but I don't care. This is just to try this for real. There are a lot of ways to do granny squares. You can start several different ways. I am going to start with a magic ring. So I hold that in my index finger, wrap it around once, and I use a stitch marker here. I'm going to use a white one. That's what it looks like when it's off my fingers. The stitch marker helps me because I'm not always very good at, see, let go of it, that's a problem. I'm not always very good at holding the yarn in 6 places at once, so I reach under, and that's the magic ring. And now I want to chain up for double crochet. So I'll do the first one the normal way. So 1, 2, 3. I tend to hold the base of the chain to keep this loop the same size rather than doing it out in the air. 3. And I'm putting 3, I think of them as granny stitches. It's a group of 3 double crochets. And my ball of yarn is trying to cuddle up to my hand. So here are the 2 strands I'm working around. And I've done 3 doubles, well, a chain up and 2 doubles, a fake double, a substitute double and 2 doubles, there we go. And now for a corner, I am going to chain 2. No, I'm going to chain 3. No, 2. It doesn't really matter as long as I'm consistent. And then do more doubles. So another granny stitch. I'm not going to close yet. Pull this tight. Take this out. Now, to close, I want to make sure that the tail is to the back. You see how my stitches tend to turn to the front, might chain up. Okay, so I want to chain up and then start a corner. So I want the yarn to be right at the end of this block. I don't want to chain and then close. I want the yarn to end up here. So I'm going to do a double crochet into the 1, 2, 3. Alright, I'll do it into the top, and I'll go through the back loop too. See the double crochet, here's the body of the double crochet, and here's where I'm left, is right after this block. So now I want to chain up and do a corner. I am going to do a forward loop for the chain up. So, here, wait, let me show you. I usually have the yarn around my index finger, usually a couple of times. So I'm going to slide the hook up into that, same way my index finger goes. Snug it up, size it, and yarn over and pull through both. So that's a forward loop chain. I'll do it again, but when I tried this before, sometimes if I did 2, it was a little too snug. It lay at a... Yeah, I don't like that, so let me do just 1. This is the part that I want tight. So I'll pull it a little extra tight. Okay, now I'll loosen up. Yeah, that's better. That third strand's not too bad now. Now I'm going to do a forward chain going up. But I'm only going to do 1 this time and make the rest a chain. Do I want a third chain? No, I think that's good. It depends on the yarn and the hook and how tight I'm crocheting that day. Okay, so it still looks like a forward-facing chain, but it's a little bit thicker. It's not quite as thin. It looks, I think it passes as a stitch a little bit better. Alright, I'm in a corner, so 2 chains, and this is going to be, I'm doing these 2 just now. So when I get around to here, that's when I'm going to jump down and do this. So I'm going to put a stitch marker in to remind me to add the extra block between this corner and this corner. I think that I'm going to turn off the camera and work around to here. Okay, I chained up here, I worked around. I'm putting 2 crochets in the corner and 1 on a side. That's a judgment call as long as you're consistent. And I've worked around to this point. And now I want to do my tricky little, let's try it this way. I want to do this. I'm here, and I think I want to chain up and then do a foundation double crochet to make that chain, and then chain back down and slip stitch there, and then go on to this one. That's my plan. Okay, so I want to chain up first. So there's my forward loop. Here's my first chain. Here's my second chain. And I think I want a little extra room, so I'm going to do a third chain on this one. And now I want to do a foundation double crochet. But I think what I want to do is go into this last stitch and pull up a loop, and that is the chain beneath this foundation double crochet I'm about to do. So now I technically I'm chaining one, but conceptually I'm pulling up a loop and then yarning over and completing it, pulling through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that was a foundation double crochet. And this right here is serving as that first pulled up loop that served as a foundation chain. I actually want to come back down, so I'm going to forward chain back down. I slide the hook up the way my finger goes, pull through. No, I don't think I want that there. I think I want to chain one first. It was too thick. It was trying to go that way, and I want it to go that way. Okay, chain one, and now the forward loop. I don't really think about how I do it. I can just feel which way it's supposed to go. So that was 2 chains. Here's my 3rd chain. And now I want to slip stitch into here. Alright, need more hands. There we go. Oh, I see. I split the yarn with my stitch marker. That's why I'm so confused. There. Okay, so now that is that. And it's also the chain between. So now from here, I want to do this corner. Yarn over. Let me do 3 and I'll show it to you again. Okay, so there it is, sticking up. Instead of thinking of it as stitch by stitch, I tend to think in blocks or units or rows or sections or whatever. And that is more orienting than if I think of each separate stitch. I get confused too easily. Now, I've done this, I've done these 2, and now I want to chain up to do this side one, but I want the yarn to be at the end of here. I don't want it to be end at the joining chain, so I want to connect these. This is just 1 chain, so I'm going to use a single crochet this time. 1, 2, 3. I should probably go down into it like this and pick up the back loop too. The 3rd loop, I mean. Pull up a loop and single crochet again instead of chaining 1. Now I want to go up and I want to do this side unit, the unit, I want to do this kind of a thing here. I think I like how it worked with 1 forward chain and 2 regular chains. And now I want to put the 2 doubles around that single crochet. See? You can't tell that I didn't chain. And now I want to continue around. So I just did this one. I want to do 2 more in the corner. Chain 1. Chain 2. Okay, I have 2 choices. For the 3rd crochet, I can chain down, slip stitch across, chain back up, and then do the rest of the red. Or I can undo this, change to white and carry this, and then change back to red to do that. I think I like the white idea better. I think carrying it is the simpler solution. I'm just going to put a clip there. Oh. So I'm going to drop the yarn to the front, as in a video I watched. Pull through a loop and let my clip kind of hold it back. And now I want to bring this back, and I actually want to bring it up over the white. And for the chain one, I'm going to use both strands of the white. Now I want a center unit here. So there's the first stitch. I'm going to bring the red back down. I want the red to come over the white, but be in back when I make the stitch. And I think I'm going to wrap this tail around too. I should have done the last pull through with the red. So I'm going to drop the white in front, do my yarn over and pull through with the red. This is very loose, I don't like that. I'm going to go back and do it again in a moment, but let me just show you how I do this. And then bring the white back. Okay. Now I'll bring the white up over the yarn, over the working yarn. It's hidden behind. I can bring it back down. Do the next one. Okay, on the back, it's basically just catching the yarn instead of having to sew it in later. And then when I work into this, I will lift this up and crochet over it in the same, in this chain 2 space. I'll lift it up and crochet over it. Okay, I'm going to redo these because the top stitches were too loose, so I'll do that again. I'm not going to try and talk while I do this for the second time because it's too much to work on at once because I want to work in the tail as I go. Plus I've got construction noise behind me, which is really annoying. I pulled up the red. I'm not worried about this. I can just, that'll crochet in. When I put the next row in, I'll crochet over it. I did the yarn up, yarn down. I made one of the chains in white because it secures the white in it. That's going to get covered anyway. Chain up and down again. Chain in white. Did last unit. In the last pull through I changed to white. And I brought the red was ending down here, so I kind of wove it in and out here and then put it to secure it and then put it on top and crocheted over it when I made the white corner. Okay, so now I am here, and what I want is a chain one connecting to this, and then I want the white to disappear, and then I want the white again with the chain one, and then I continue with the white all the way around. So what I'm going to do is slip stitch. Oh wait, let me chain one first. And now I want to slip stitch behind here so that it doesn't show, so that the red shows on top, because there won't be any, you know, at the top of these things, there's no other stitches into them. So if I go behind, that'll be better. Slip stitch. It really should be there. Alright, I'm going to pick up this strand and the back strand of the next one and see if that works any better. Slip stitch. Yeah, I think that works better, especially if I hide the rest of them behind. Or the middle one behind. And maybe I need to make this one a little bit visible too, so I'll go here. And chain one. And now I'm going to do the corner. So now I want to join here to here, and then I want to chain up and start another block, so I'm going to do a single into here. 1, 2, 3. That one, I believe. Oh wait, I was going to go into the top. So the single leaves me on this side of the chain here. Alright, so chain up. Because this yarn is thinner, I think I can get away with 2 forward chains and a regular chain. And now I want to go here. It kind of sticks out a bit, but I think I like that. Okay. Here's my third. And now I'm just going to go all the way around in white, just the same as any other granny square. Where I have a bit of tail, I'm going to crochet over the tail and also lift this up and make sure I crochet under it. So over the tail and under the float. This, when the yarn goes from one place to another on the back, oh, I failed to lift that up, oh well, it is called a float, like here. Of course, if you're watching this, you're probably an advanced worker, yarn worker, and you probably already know all that. Now as I do this, I kind of want the white to roll to the back. So I'm wondering if I can do something like going into this way instead of going into the chain space. Going from the bottom up to try to pull the bottom up a little. There's my chain one. Turn it and go into the white underneath the red. Ha 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 ha! Evil laugh. Yeah, it still looks a little funny, but now I'll crochet over it, I think. I think it'll be okay. Yeah, it shows a little bit. I'm okay with that. Alright, last corner. Chain one. And here's one of my problems. I get so involved in doing the stitches and thinking about what I'm going to do next that I forget to really look at my work. And you can see these corners are folding up, and I really should stand back. And I'm so close, that's what I always think. And kind of spread it out. Take a look at the other side. Okay, that's loose, that's loose. That's loose, that's okay, I can work those in. Alright, so last one. Chain, and then go into the top of the stitch and slip stitch. And just to secure this, I'm going to tilt this forward, go into a stitch here and slip stitch again, because this feels like it'll slip out easily. Alright. I may take that out, we'll see. Take out my stitch marker. These two are these two blue ones that I added because I had the pattern wrong. These and these. This one here I finessed. This I probably should have just chained up instead of doing a forward chain because that's a little thick. This strand is not so great. It's a little too loose and it's going to show. So I'm going to pull it down there, and when I work in the tail, I'll work it up and I'll kind of use it to secure that loose strand. And I'll work white into white, I'll work red into red, and come back and show you the result. So here's the finished product. I used the red to pull down the white where I had slip stitched across so that it's a little bit less visible. It does distort this a bit, but that's okay. I think this, I should have just done a regular chain. I think this is a little too fat, but it doesn't look bad. When I stitched in the white, I ran it through these, I think of them as tunnels, and instead of running them through the back like I normally would do, I ran them through the front over where the red yarn crossed, and it kind of blocked some of that red. You can see here the red shows through a bit, but in some places it shows through less where I ran the white around it.